Picture yourself walking down a crowded street, smiling, stepping aside, being the nice guy everyone praises. But deep down, you feel an emptiness, a silent anger you can't quite explain. What if I told you that being nice might be the invisible chain holding you back? This isn't about turning into a villain, but about stopping being a doormat. Today, we're going to tear down the veil of blind kindness and show you, with a dash of humor and a pinch of uncomfortable truth, how to stop being used and start being respected. Ready? Hold on tight, because this journey's going to shake you up. Have you ever stopped to think why, even though you're the kindest guy in the room, sometimes it feels like nobody takes you seriously? It's like you're the friend everyone calls when they need something, but forgets when it's time to show appreciation. Niccolò Machiavelli, that philosopher some paint as the bad boy of the Renaissance, once said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, few feel what you are." That line hits like a punch to the gut, but it's real. The world doesn't care about your pure heart if you don't know how to show you've got weight. And look, it's not about being fake, but about realizing that kindness without strategy is like handing out gold for free to people who just want to exploit you. Before we dive in head first, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and join this channel that's going to help you see the world with new eyes. Here we go. Let's paint a picture. You're at work, being that coworker who never says no. Someone asks you to cover an extra shift, even though they know you're exhausted. You smile, swallow your fatigue, and say, "All right, I'll do it." Inside, you're screaming, but on the outside, just a forced smile. Now think, how many times have you done this? How many times have you swallowed your anger, your pain, just to avoid making a scene? That's not being good, my friend. That's being a hostage to an idea they sold you since you were a kid. That being kind means never causing trouble. But let me let you in on a secret nobody taught you. The world doesn't respect people who fade away. It respects those who show up, who set boundaries, who say this far with a look that leaves no room for doubt. Machiavelli wasn't some guy trying to turn everyone into a monster. He was a realist, a guy who looked at the world and saw how things actually worked. He said something that still makes people cringe. A man who wants to always be virtuous ends up ruined among so many who aren't. Sounds harsh, but it's the raw, unfiltered truth. Being nice without thinking is like stepping into a boxing ring with your hands tied. You might have the best heart in the world, but if you don't know how to defend yourself, you'll end up on the floor, and the worst part, the one who knocked you down will move on without even glancing back. Now, let's dig deeper. Why do you feel this need to please everyone? If you look closely, you'll see it goes way back. Maybe to childhood, when they taught you that being nice was the way to be loved. Don't cry, swallow your tears. Don't complain, that's rude. Little by little, you learned that being yourself, with anger, desires, boundaries, was wrong. So you started molding yourself, staying quiet, giving in, and you became an adult who smiles on the outside while carrying a volcano inside. That's not empathy like they made you believe. It's fear. Fear of being rejected, judged, of not being enough. And as long as you live with that fear, the world reads you as someone who takes everything, someone who doesn't command respect. But here's the good news. You don't have to stay like this. Machiavelli isn't telling you to become a tyrant, but to be smart. He talked about being like a fox and a lion. The fox spots the traps, understands the game, knows when to stay quiet and when to act. The lion doesn't need to roar to be heard. His presence says it all. You need both. Being a fox means noticing when someone's manipulating you with that "you're so understanding, only you can help me" talk. Being a lion means saying no calmly, but with a firmness that makes the other person think twice before testing you again. Let's be real, the world isn't fair. It won't reward you just because you're a good person. That's a fairy tale they told you to keep you in line. In real life, the ones who earn respect are the ones who know how to play the game. It's not about lying or betraying, but about understanding that your kindness needs boundaries. Think about that coworker who never gives in, who speaks clearly, who doesn't explain himself 1,000 times. He might not be the most liked, but he's listened to. Why? Because he has presence. He's not begging for approval. He knows who he is and what he wants. And you? It's time you figured that out too. Now let me tell you a quick story. The other day I saw a friend, John, the guy everyone calls the nice one. He was always there, helping, listening, never complaining. But you know what happened? In a big project he got completely overlooked. Other co-workers, less skilled but more assertive, took the credit. John was crushed, but he didn't say a word. Until one day, he changed. He started saying no when he needed to, speaking with confidence, showing he had value. Guess what? People started respecting him, not because he turned cruel, but because he stopped being invisible. That's the shift you need. But look, I won't lie to you. This change isn't easy. When you start setting boundaries, some people will push back. They'll say you've changed, that you're different. And you are. You're done being the doormat they loved. And that scares them. But deep down, you'll feel something new. Freedom. The freedom of not needing everyone's approval. The freedom to choose who deserves your time, your energy, your best. Because let's be real, your best is a gift, not an obligation. Now, let me ask you a question that might sting. Does your kindness come from love or fear? If it's from fear, fear of being rejected, of being alone, of not being loved, then it's not kindness. It's armor that's suffocating you, and you weren't born to live like that. You were born to be whole, with anger, desires, boundaries, all of it. Machiavelli, with all his coldness, was trying to tell you this. Stop asking for permission to exist. Stop waiting for the world to see your essence. Show who you are with clarity, with courage, with presence. And if you're thinking, but I don't want to become a cold person, relax. It's not about losing your humanity. It's about protecting it. It's about understanding that being kind doesn't mean being a pushover. You can still be generous, but with discernment. You can still be empathetic, but without erasing yourself. You can still be you, but with a difference. Now you decide who gets to step into your space and who stays out. Let's picture another scene. You're hanging out with friends and someone makes a comment that hurts you. The old you would smile, pretend everything's fine, swallow the pain. The new you? You look them in the eye and say calmly, "That's not okay with me." Silence at the table. Everyone looks at you, and suddenly something shifts. They see you for real, not because you yelled, but because you stood your ground. That's the power Machiavelli wanted you to have. Not the power to dominate, but to not be dominated. Now, let me share a personal take. I believe most of us spend our lives trying to be loved without realizing we're already enough. I think we bend, adapt, stay quiet, because deep down we believe we don't deserve respect just being who we are. But man, that's a lie they fed you. You are enough. You just need to stop hiding it behind a forced smile. And here's the part that might scare you. Nobody's going to save you. There won't be a magical moment when the world sees your worth and puts you on a pedestal. The change starts with you, in the silence, in the anger you turn into clarity, in the pain you turn into strength. It's you saying enough to those who use you. It's you choosing to respect yourself before expecting respect from others. It's you deciding you'd rather be free than loved by people who just want to control you. So, what are you going to do now? Keep being the nice guy everyone praises but nobody values. Or start being the guy who commands respect, who has a voice, who doesn't explain himself to those who don't deserve it. The choice is yours, but let me give you a little nudge. Life's too short to live as a supporting character in your own story. You don't need to be cruel, but you need to be undeniable. You need to be someone who, when they walk into a room, makes people think, this guy knows who he is. And if you're wondering where to start, here's a simple but powerful tip. Start saying no once a day. It can be small, like turning down a favor that overwhelms you, or big, like calling out someone who disrespects you. Every no is a brick in the new you. Every no is you telling the world, I exist and I choose. Sounds small, but it's the start of everything. Now, let me tell you one last secret. Know why this video's hitting you? Because deep down, you already know all this. You've felt the weight of being too nice. You've seen how the world treats those who don't set boundaries. That emptiness you feel. It's your soul screaming for you to wake up. And today's the day to listen to that scream. Today's the day to stop being the guy who pleases and start being the guy who's respected. So, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a brutal choice, the way Machiavelli would. Do you want to be loved by those who use you, or free to be who you are? Don't answer me. Answer with your actions. Start today. Say a no. Set a boundary. Show the world you're not just a nice guy. You're a force nobody can ignore. If this video sparked something in you, hit that like button and drop in the comments the last time you were too nice and regretted it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Not because I asked, but because you're tired of being invisible and want more content to help you become the main character in your life. In the videos on the side, there's more truth that'll rattle you but also set you free. Which one will you pick? That's up to you. See you on the other side.